So how did you deal with the pressure?
Yeah, cried.
Sometimes you just need to cry.
Me, I do it because 10-year-old Emma's proud, and my family and friends love me no matter first, last. And for me, they kept me really grounded.
Yeah.
It's just a bike race.
At the end of the day, it's literally just a bike race, and it's so important to remember that. It is just a bike race. You're literally just pedaling around in circles. Like, it's fine. Shemai Emma.
Shemai Manon.
And welcome back to Watts Occurring Femmes, brought to you by Rouvy and hosted by Pinarello.
We're back.
It's
been a minute.
It has been.
I feel a bit out of the loop here.
I know.
But Manon, you've been here, then, everywhere. I've been seeing on Instagram, you've been in Europe. Where have you been and what have you been up to?
It's been a busy month. I feel like I've not been home very much for the past month.
You're looking very tanned.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, got a bit of a tan on you.
Thanks. So first of all, I went to Mallorca, and that was a holiday, but I feel like it's a bit rude not to take your bike to Mallorca because
you can't.
the
That's
riding
not a holiday.
is so good. Well, it is. It was just like casual
Okay,
riding.
okay.
Yeah, it was really nice, and the weather was so good. We got really lucky with the weather. But Mallorca's just such a good place to ride a bike. I love it.
Yeah, I've never really been there.
Have you not?
No.
I've actually lost count of the amount of times I've been to Mallorca because ever since I started riding, we always used to do training camps there.
Yeah, I feel like it's a classic road.
Yeah. I've
spot.
done so many camps there, and then even like after I finished cycling, I've done sort of like events and stuff there. I did the Mallorca 312 last year, and then go every year for a bit of a holiday as well.
Why not?
Because it's like you've been to the velodrome in Mallorca, though, haven't you?
For Champs.
Yeah.
I have actually. Yeah, I have.
I remember
no
seeing you
road
there.
riding done.
No.
But yeah, the track's actually alright, to be fair.
Yeah, it's a nice track.
In a bit of a strange spot, but
It's like really central, isn't it?
yeah.
Is it? I think.
I don't remember, but there you go. I have been.
Yeah, you have. Not for road. You'll have to go back road riding because it is very nice. No, I feel like even like a casual hour road ride to the cafe in the sun, just can't beat it.
Maybe you convinced me.
Yeah, and there's this one. One of my favorite routes is the Lighthouse route. So you ride out to Formentor. It's like an out and back. It's a lovely like undulating ride, a few little hills, and then you end up at this beautiful lighthouse right at the end, and then you ride back. There's a lot of like out and backs as well.
Yeah.
Have you heard of Saclabra? It's basically this massive mountain. It's like probably like a 45-minute climb.
Did you ride up it?
No, not this time, but I've done it before, where you'll descend first. It's a lovely descent, and then you get to the bottom, and then you literally have to turn around, come straight back up.
Oh, no.
And it's quite a ride to get there.
No.
Yeah, there's some good riding.
I'll stick to the track.
Yeah. And then after that, I went out to Italy to a kind of cycling holiday camp, which was a lot of fun, but I didn't time the flights very well. So
You said you were like literally at the airport and then back at the airport.
Yeah. So our flight from Mallorca was delayed. So I got back, we landed at 9:30 at night. Right. And then I had a 6:30 flight the next morning.
You might as well just stayed there.
I got to the airport, came out with my bags, and then on like the kind of
was your flight there?
My flight was already up on the board. I was like, oh, I should probably just stay here. But I got back and I'm like, I need to do all this washing and it's not going to dry in time. And
wait, who's washing and drying about 6 hours?
I know, yeah. And I was, at least I didn't have to touch my bike though. My bike was already packed in the box, so that just should have just left that at the airport. But Italy was also very, very lovely place to ride a bike. The weather wasn't great, but
where in Italy did you go?
I flew into Pisa, and then it was like a 20-minute drive from Pisa. I'm not sure.
So somewhere in Italy.
Yeah, somewhere. But it was like we kind of stayed on a bit of a ranch. There was lots of like horses, and it was an old like Italian farmhouse sort of vibe. It was
Sounds
nice.
Nice.
Yeah. And we went to lots of obviously did some riding, and then we went to some just like small Italian villages, which was really lovely, and ate so much pasta and tiramisu. It was great.
Tiramisu.
Yeah, Italian food's
banging.
so good.
Yeah.
And after that, I came back home for a few days, and then I went to Lyon in France with my mum and some like family friends, which was that was like a holiday, no bike. But oh my gosh, my mum, she loves like walking, so we did probably like 15,000, 20,000 steps every single day. It was.
Do you like walking?
Not really, no. It was something because I feel like I've got it ingrained in me from cycling.
You're not allowed to.
Do not walk because it'll ruin your legs. You need to like save your legs. So after I finished cycling, I couldn't. I was terrible at walking. I'd walk like 20 minutes. I'm like, I need to lie down.
Yeah, same.
But yeah, I feel like I just had that ingrained. But I'm getting better. I can walk better now.
Go out with your mum. She'll get you going.
Yeah. But that was good. And then home, and then I've been up in Manchester for a few days. Saw you at the track yesterday, doing your thing.
Doing my thing at the
track. Looking very fast.
That was so weird. I turned around and I was like, oh, Manon's here.
I know, I should let you know, really.
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh. So I was like, I knew I was seeing you tomorrow, and then I saw you, and yeah, you haven't been in the track for a while, had you?
No.
Yeah, when I came over to you, you were like, this is weird.
I think that was the first time I've been at the track since Nationals 2019 or 2018.
Well, so you haven't been in
not Manchester Velodrome.
Damn.
And I can't lie, it wasn't a good feeling being back.
Really?
No, I felt really weird, like a little bit anxious as well. Maybe it's because like the whole sort of
it was a big session.
It was like a big session. There's a lot of people there. All the coaches all looked very serious, and I was like, "Oh, this is bringing back some memories."
Yeah,
it was intense.
No, I saw you, and I was like, "Oh, nice to see you at the track."
Yeah, it was nice to see you do your thing. You looked pro.
I was
very
in the zone,
pro. Yeah,
for worlds.
Yeah,
couple sessions left.
What were you doing yesterday?
So I had to we do like flying efforts. So from the top, which we have qualifying. And then we would practicing. So potentially at Worlds, I have like a 17-minute turnaround.
Wow.
Between my qualifying and my first ride, which is not long. No. So we like practiced in terms of like, so the mechanics were there. They had to change all my wheels, change my gears.
I bet that's a stressful job, being a mechanic on a time limit.
Yeah, because at the Olympics, I had like, it was something stupid, like 12 minutes. Honestly, it was one of the worst races of my life because I was like, I came off the flying 200 and Scott was like, right, 12 minutes. I was like, what? But the mechanics had to change, like, it's not just a gear, it's like wheels and like tire pressures and all of that. So they had to do that. So yesterday we practiced like the smallest amount of time it could be. And yeah, it was pretty hard. Like,
even just like going full gas.
Yeah.
Trying to recover and go full gas again is like,
but it's weird.
intense.
And also the mindset, because the flying 200 is so controllable, like it's just me, and then you have 70 minutes race mode and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's someone else on the track, and
it's obviously like two completely different things,
and you can't I couldn't replicate that yesterday, so we were just practicing like physical effort in that time gap, which it went really well. But Scott's really on it in terms of like scheduling and like just having like the smaller details, and I think that's something we really learned like before the games. It was kind of a last minute thing. We knew that. We were like, oh, like, wow, like this is actually going to happen.
Yeah.
Whereas he's a bit more on it to be like, oh, at the Worlds, this could happen. Let's just practice it. And more for the mechanics as well. Like,
yeah, I was going to say, you know, like all the stuff that the mechanics do, tire pressure and gears, do you like pay much attention to that? Or is it kind of like out of your hands and someone else sort of makes those decisions for you?
Yeah, I used to be very like, you do it all, but where I think now I'm more like, this is the ratio I want, so I understand like the gear ratios I want, because apparently some are better than others. I don't really know.
I was with Laurie Thomas yesterday, and she was like explaining like if you go under a certain sprocket it's less efficient or something like that, and I was like, wow,
it's
no idea.
Really like technical. So I'll give them my gears and be like, you need to do this, and then I'll like check my bike before it goes, because before there's probably been I think there's been a few situations where sometimes like they have got a lot to do and a human error. But you'll just check over your bike and then I'm off. Like I don't really have time because I'm focused on myself. I'm like, I need to cool down before I go.
I'm intrigued. What's happened to your bike before? Is there anything?
Oh, the wrong gear's been put on.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But I don't know if that was my fault or their fault. I couldn't remember. It was like I was meant to be on, I think it was like 112 and I was like on 120. It was a big difference. But I couldn't feel it.
Really?
Which was the weirdest part.
So how did you find out?
Well, afterwards I was like, oh, that felt like, I came off and I was like, oh, that was really hard. I was like, don't remember it being that hard. And then I turned out I was wrong. But I've made mistakes where I put the wrong gear on.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's so funny. My coach is like, every couple of months I'll just put the wrong gear on.
Really?
Yeah, because I just like, because we change our gears as sprinters all the time.
Yeah.
Like every session, all like
after every effort. Yeah.
So yeah, that was yesterday. And then just the final preps for Worlds. I leave next week.
So excited. I remember actually at a Development World Cup.
Oh yeah.
I think it was like a points race or something, and everybody had to be on the same gears.
Oh no.
Because we were like juniors. And I accidentally put like a massive gear on, and I was like riding off the front on my own. I was like, oh my God, how? And
then you just win it like by mile.
Yeah.
Oh mate, you must feel great.
But then I halfway around I realised I had the wrong gear on. And I was like, how do I make this look like I've got the right gear on? Like how can I like make it look like my legs are going faster? I would have just owned it. Yeah, I know, but then it would be really obvious, and then I get told off by a coach or something.
Yeah, but then you might have got told off because you didn't win by loads because you're on a big gear.
Yeah, true. I can't. Nothing, I don't think I didn't get told off. It was fine.
Yeah, no, gears. Yeah, gears are. Some people just don't understand the track cycling.
No, I feel like when you're in it, and obviously like you're changing gears all the time, it's really easy to understand. But like for someone on the outside, we're like talking about these numbers, like
they're like, sorry, what
idea.
does that mean? And I'm like, yeah, to be honest, I actually don't know. But because so we have this board, and someone from the offices came to like look at our training and like just had a look at the board, and they're like, what does any of this mean? Like, because Scott abbreviates things or like writes like end to end, E to E and stuff. And
what's that mean?
I should know. So the velodrome you have is 250 and you sprint end to end.
Oh, okay.
It's like a warm-up effort.
So like half a lap?
Yeah. But it's from like not the half, not the straights, it's the bends.
Okay. Why would you go from the bends?
I don't know.
Why not?
Yeah. But like, it's just like simple things like that.
Okay.
But yeah, it was nice to see you yesterday and get the groove, see me do my thing.
I know, yeah, it was nice. Well, kind of nice to be back, but nice to see you. We are delighted to be working with Rouvy on Watts Occurring Femmes, and we have a great offer for you. You can use promo code FEMMES, FEMMES, for an additional 30 days on top of the 7-day free trial.
This is applicable to new subscribers only.
Rouvy's on a mission to bring the indoors to the outdoors, connecting you with real routes from around the world to your home. And in the summer, you can utilise Rouvy to do specific training sessions or to hide from the heatwave.
Rouvy's new route creator tool also allows riders to upload their favourite loops onto Rouvy. Everyone can easily convert their own video into a virtual route to ride at home. We've got some big plans with Rouvy over the next few months, so watch this space.
And remember to use the code FEMMES, FEMMES, for an extra month on us when you subscribe for the first time. So let's move on. We're going to talk about pressure in elite sport now.
I feel like this is a good topic.
It is, yeah. And I think maybe something that people don't talk about enough, like the pressure that comes with being an elite athlete and the pressure that you maybe put on yourself as well.
Yeah, for sure. Like, and how you deal with that. Like everyone, like we'll speak about today, we will probably deal with pressure very differently and the strategies and how you cope with pressure. And you can also use it as well as excitement. I've also been told like pressure and nerves is a kind of like the same feeling of being excited and how to use that into racing. I don't know if
I think even
that's
just
true.
Understanding that.
Yeah.
Like obviously some people might like feel the pressure and think of it as a bad thing or like make them really nervous. But if you can kind of change that psychology and think of it as a good thing.
Yeah, for sure.
That would be really good.
If you don't feel pressure, then I don't like someone said to me before, like they were really nervous and stuff. And I was like, that is a good thing because it means you care.
Yeah.
Like if you telling me, oh, I'm fine, I'm just chill, I'd be like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Because if you're in a world's final or if you're in a race and you're just feeling a bit blasé about something, then your balances aren't right. And I think having the balance of like, yes, being nervous and having pressure, but also how to deal with that. And if one's higher than the other, then that can be really hard. And that's when you start like overthinking things and like feeling too much pressure. But when they're balanced, like they're actually really good for each other.
Yeah.
Like they're really, how have you like felt like when's been like the highest pressure point in your career?
So I think because I've done like the road and the track, the pressure is a lot more on the track.
Okay.
Like so much more. I think road is a lot more chilled because you have like 3, 4, 5 hours to kind of build the pressure up. You're not kind of going into it from the start. Whereas on the track, it's so short and intense. It's like the pressure just feels more.
Yeah. And do you feel like you can hide on the road a bit?
Yeah.
Like
you can.
Little, like there's so many other people.
Yeah. And on the track, there's like nowhere to
you're
hide
so exposed
at all. So I definitely felt the pressure more on the track. And I think we'll come on to it in a bit, but also like the pressure was very different being in a team pursuit, team 2 racing individual. I'd say when I was racing team pursuit with, I think it was like the year after the 2016 Rio Olympics, and I was in a team with like Katie Archibald and Ella Barker who had just won at Rio, and then you're in a team with them and you're like, wow, the pressure's all on me now because if I mess this up, like it's my fault. Like that was a lot of pressure, but also doing like, I used to hate individual pursuit.
Okay.
Hate it. I don't know why. I think I just used to put I put a lot of pressure on myself, ironically.
Literally.
Yeah. And I'd always like work myself up so much about it to get to the point where I'd just be a nervous wreck before even like getting into the start gate. I'd be like, my heart rate would be so high. And even just like warming up, you know, you can just feel like you're wasting energy by stressing about it.
And how did you deal with that? Like, well,
I don't think I dealt with it at all. I think it's only towards the end of my career. I feel like everything happened at the end of my career, but
it's not a bad thing.
No, that I saw like a sports psychologist, and we started to, like, just talking to her about like how I was feeling, and she was like, yeah, you clearly are very anxious about this individual pursuit, and what can we do to sort of change that? And it was just like little things, going from listening to really intense music in my warm-up to maybe listening to something a little bit calmer and something that didn't get me worked up as much, or doing some breath work before, like after my warm-up when you come and sit down, doing some of that really helped. But yeah, I don't think I dealt with pressure very well at all. And I think it kind of got more as my career went on. I feel like maybe at the start it was okay, and then kind of as it got more serious and kind of more depended on the race results, it was even higher. And and
I guess the more like you were really successful in your career, and like the more you have that success, the more you expect it, or you have these other expectations on you from yourself, from other people. What's really surprising is, like, did your coach like help in any way?
I don't think so, no.
Like not
no,
like,
I don't think so, no. Not that I can remember.
Yeah, that's so interesting, because for me, like, it's just different.
And I think maybe in the team pursuit it was you kind of relied on your teammates, like, you know, you could be like, oh god, like I'm actually really nervous, and be like, oh, it's fine, like we've done this in training like 50,000 times, you know exactly what you have to do. And I feel like it's just remembering that, like, oh yeah, like we literally did this yesterday, I know I can do this power, and I know I can do this lap time and stuff like that, it's fine. But you still end up putting a lot of pressure on yourself. But what do you feel like your pressure has got more as you've become more successful in the sport, or do you not feel like that?
No. So similarly to you, like when I first got on, I was just carefree. Like I kind of just, and obviously being an elite athletes, like we do care, and like I do feel pressure, but I think it was more like the expectation I didn't have, because I remember when I first got on, like my times weren't great. I went into races and I was just like, well, I haven't got that confidence, or I haven't proved myself in training that I've done really well, so like I'm just going into the competition and trying my best, which is I guess where it starts. But yeah, definitely as I've become more successful, and as I've made more finals, and I think the first place where I felt really anxious and really scared almost was Commonwealth Games.
Was it?
Yeah, because
I guess that was probably like your first like big sort of games outside. And
it wasn't anything to do with the track or anything, it was more, so I remember walking into the Commonwealth, we all shared, the cycling was away from Birmingham, so we were in London, and everyone ate together, like we all, and it felt like even the school canteen. No. Honestly,
I know.
I walked into the dining room to have lunch, and I was like, I can't do this.
It's just little things like that as well.
Like I had like a panic attack. I was like, all these people, no idea who they are. And like I remember going to my coach, well, she was coaching England, Carly, and I was like, Carly, I feel so overwhelmed, like there's so many people here, and she was like, it's okay. And like that wasn't even a sense of pressure, that was just like anxiety for like knowing what's coming. But I guess they're similar feelings.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, that for me was outrageous. And then I guess the first sense of pressure was Worlds, which I've spoken about quite a few times. My first World Championships, the first final, I went to the toilet and cried, because that was.
So how did you deal with the pressure?
Yeah, I cried.
Sometimes you just need to cry.
That was literally my way of doing it, because it was my first major championships, my final. It was at home, and I was like, I can't.
Yeah, that's a lot, isn't it?
What do I do?
Yeah. So were you expecting to go to the finals when you went? So I feel like even that, like, not being prepared for that.
Yeah, I remember. I think, well, at the Commonwealth Games, I told my parents I wasn't going to make the finals, and then I did. And then at Worlds, I was just there just to learn and stuff, and I made the finals. I was like, what's going on?
Yeah.
So like pressure for me has changed throughout my career, but
you've probably had to learn to deal with it really quickly though.
Yeah. So after Worlds was when I first felt like I had to deal with pressure.
How did you deal with it?
So my psychologist came into it a lot. My coach came into it, like, which is, I feel
really
is quite,
nice.
I think it's really important.
Yeah.
Because for you, like, they're there every day.
And for them to understand how you feel. I feel like it just all needs to work like that, doesn't it?
Yeah. So leaning into the games, being world champion, feeling like I shouldn't be world champion, but like feeling that imposter syndrome for world, like representing that jersey was really, really hard for me. So to deal with pressure, I had to go back to the basics in terms of why I do something.
Yeah.
So for me, I do it because 10-year-old Emma's proud, and my family and friends love me no matter first, last. And for me, they kept me really grounded.
Yeah.
And I like, it's just a bike race. Like,
I was literally going to bring that up because obviously I interviewed you quite a lot for the Track Champions League.
Yeah.
And you're like, at the end of the day, it's literally just a bike race. And it's so important to remember that.
Yeah,
it is just a bike race. You're literally just pedaling around in circles. Like, no one's going to die. No one's life depends on it. It's
I know.
fine.
And it's like, and obviously because we're elite athletes and because I want to win. Like, I'm not going to shy. I want to win. I want to be the best. But like, I can't let that consume me because I won't perform.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm
because it takes up a lot of your energy.
Yeah. If I'm like, have like anxiety and like feel the pressure and let it overcome me, I won't perform. So you have to have, but it's hard. Like, I just keep saying, I was like, my friends and family, or I write in my notes or things like that. And I say to my coach, I'm like, I'm really nervous. And he's like, okay, you're here because 10-year-old Emma's proud. And like,
so he knows what he needs to say to you. Yeah.
And we also have processes that are really controllable. So for me in a team sprint, I feel really controlled because I know I need to get off the line aggressively, get onto the wheel of my teammate and ride the black line. And they're the only things I can control. I can't control anyone else. I can't control the environment. I can't control anything else. And that helps me not feel the pressure.
I think like when you think like that and think about how simple the things you actually need to do are, you're like, well, that's like easy. I've done that a million times. So there's like, why do I feel like this when it's that easy basically? But
yeah, it's more the environment that gets like at the Olympics I saw the rings on the track and I was like, oh my god, what do I do? And you're like, no, like I've done this before. But like I also saying before, team to individual, very different.
Really. What's more pressure for you?
Individual.
Do you think?
Which is when you were like the team, I was like, oh, that is interesting.
But maybe because you're like the boss of the team.
No, I'm not the boss. I'm not the boss.
Who's the boss?
Katie. You call it Gamer? Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. Scott.
So why do you think individual for you?
Because I guess loads of people say actually like a lot of people feel more nervous in a team, and I feel very controlled in a team because I have people around me, and a lot of people say they feel pressured to like deliver for the team, and like
that's hard,
they're going to be the weakest link. But like, I know if I'm there on the start line, I will give everything for that team. But individually, like the sprint, you're so exposed. There's like two of you on the track.
That's true.
And like one bad move, everyone's like, "Why do you do that?" And I'm like, "Oh my god,
I had about half a second to think about it.
Like sorry, but I think just
that is true. I feel like sprinting is probably one of the hardest disciplines on the track because
I'd say like 80% of it's mental.
And
like the pressure and I've learned how to deal with that.
And you do have to become a different person when you get on that track to like go up against someone.
Yeah, and I am.
Yeah.
Like I will be a different
I don't know if I want to see that, Emma.
Don't worry, guys. But yeah, it is it's a journey. Like we're all learning on that journey. But it's kind of crazy.
Have you ever had to help like some of your teammates deal with the pressure?
Yeah, little bits. I think some people will ask for advice because I guess I have been in quite high pressure environments. But it's funny because they seem as if I've done everything and I was like, I'm still learning. Like, I don't know. And pressure's really individual as well. Like I deal with it differently to like my teammates. But and you see people, I remember at the Olympics, I went to the start line and you'd kind of visualize like some of the athletes next to me would like have their hands in their heads, or like you can visually see it that if they're like cracked or like tired, and like that's, you look at them, you're like, okay,
is that something that you can tell by looking at other
a little
like,
bit
people that you might be going up against? You like look over them in the track center and be like, oh, they look a bit stressed.
A little bit, you can kind of, but in that point sometimes I just focus on myself. But in terms of my teammates, like I'll just like say to them, like, if you're feeling nervous or something, like speak, like tell us, like we're all feeling the same thing. And I wouldn't shy away if someone's feeling really nervous. Like, so we have 2 new girls going to Worlds this year in our team, and it's their first time at World Championships, and I said, guys, like, just keep talking to
You're
me.
going to be the mama.
No, stop. But I was just like, because I'm feeling nervous. Like, I'm just there just feeling nothing. Like, and she was like, Emma, I'm like nervous. I'm like, yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And maybe that's a way of like helping them deal with the pressure and things like that. But yeah, it's definitely individual, and some things I don't want to be like, nah, just like Katie's pretty good at this. So Katie Marchant, my teammate, she's pretty good being like, yeah, like just like basically just crack on.
I can imagine
but
it
like
that.
in the best way. Like she'll read the room and she'll be like, yeah, I'm really nervous too, but like we've got this.
Yeah.
And you almost need that, and that's something I'm trying to learn, because she's very good at just being like positive and like, you've got this, and people deal with pressure differently. Ultimately, I don't want to go to my teammate and be like, give them a pep talk and they like break down.
Yeah.
Because I'll be like, oh my gosh, like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
But
don't want to say the wrong thing.
No. Yeah, it is different, and I think that's why it hasn't been spoken about a lot, because it's so individual.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Like, there's not much about how people deal with pressure, because if I go to the slot and I'm World Champions final and you do, we'll feel very differently.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And
yeah,
was it? I can't remember. Was it the 2016 games that all the kind of cyclists, they had to delete social media before they went or something?
Yeah, it was something. I don't know if I've heard this right, but it was something to do with basically deleting all the social media apps so they didn't look like Instagram and stuff, or giving it to someone else to log in, or having some, like, I guess, to not see like the media and not see what's going on, and be really present at the Olympics. And we got that advice as well for like really? Paris. Yeah, it was. So I kind of I made a group. I told my family to make a separate group chat, because I just didn't want to know like when they were like waking up, and they bless them, they'd put all the articles in there, which is nice, but I just didn't
want to read that right now.
I didn't need to like read that. So like, and I archived like a lot of people, because I guess I just wanted to speak to the people that made me happy and didn't make me feel pressure and didn't make me feel anxious. And but people, like, some people didn't go on their phones, some people will go on their phones and read everything. Like, it's really individual. And
it can be a lot of pressure when you have like lots of messages, even like good luck messages. Obviously they mean well, but it's like, oh my god, like that's another person watching what I'm doing. Like, it is a lot,
it is quite, and especially when you know, like, because they're messaging you directly, you're like, oh my gosh. But I like to see my family when I got to the games be like, oh, there they are, and then they'd be messaging on their group chat, and I just cracked on with what I knew they were there. But people deal with it differently.
A reminder that today's show is hosted by Pinarello, and we're lucky enough to be in the Wilmslow store today, and me and Emma actually both love riding at F-Series bikes, don't we, Emma?
We do.
We went on a ride recently together, didn't we?
The cafe ride was really, really fun, and I've actually ridden a lot more on the road since having my new bike. It makes such a difference.
Do you love it?
Yeah, I absolutely love it. The white on the road against the kit is amazing. It's such a dream to ride.
This is your start of you becoming a road rider in the future.
No, guys, don't worry about that. But it does make a huge difference having a nice bike and being able to go out. I think, it definitely makes it more enjoyable. It definitely makes you want to go out because you have this such a nice bike underneath you. And yeah, I do really enjoy it.
Don't just take our word for it. Head to your local Pinarello retailer and check out the whole range for yourself.
Search Pinarello Store Locator to find your nearest store.
What advice would we give?
Like,
have you learned, like you said at the end of your career, you learn a bit more, like what advice?
Just understanding why you feel a certain way, actually addressing it, because I think that's something I'm not very good at. I just kind of push my feelings to a side and deal with that later. But like, maybe like turning it into a good thing, like you said at the start, like using it as a good thing that you care and you're excited and it means a lot. But also going back to kind of what we spoke with Orla quite a few episodes ago now, is like the breath work. I think that really, really works for me personally in lots of different sort of situations. So I think breath work for me. Yeah, what about you?
Yeah, similar. I think that's something when we spoke to Orla, I was like, oh, like
Have you tried it?
Yeah, a little bit, to be fair.
It takes some time to figure it out.
You kind of have to, not force it, but you have to be like, okay, I'm going to do this. Be proactive about it instead of just
you
doing
can't
it
just,
on the...
You have to focus on solely that.
So I think it's something, and I think it's really important in all sports, like just be aware, like what you said, what's going on and how you deal with it. Like everyone deals with pressure differently, and make sure like you have your, like you understand you properly, and like go to your psychologist and go to your coach and be like, this is how I want to operate on race day, and it will change every time. From 2 years ago, I race and act on race day completely different to how I do now. And like, that's part of growing.
Yeah, definitely.
I also wanted to ask, so obviously your transition into like out the sport into your new role and new job, do you feel pressure differently? Like how, like is...
There's still, there's definitely still pressure there.
Yeah.
But I'd say it's a bit less pressure, but yeah, I do still like get nervous if you're like interviewing like a big name or doing something. Definitely still get nervous, but I think especially when it's like on camera and stuff, you kind of get like one take at it. So it's like, you just have to do it. Like, you're not going to get a second chance. So you just kind of do it. But yeah.
Do you deal with it the same as you would like when you get nervous? Like, do you do breath work, or do you just kind of just
depends
go?
What I'm doing. If I'm like in an environment where I can like go to the toilet and just sit there and just like speak to myself and just take like a deep breath, I will. But if you're like kind of at a bike race and you're on site and you're like, you just don't have time to take time to go. So you just kind of stood around or doing stuff where you just have to just go for it. And I think it comes down to just like being prepared and just being confident and just going for it.
Yeah. Because it's really interesting where people say, oh, like I feel pressure in my job and it's very different to an athlete. And I'm like, yeah, that's completely valid, but I just can't relate. But everyone feels pressure in every job, like deadlines and the NHS trying to like do amazing things and save lives. Like, it's so,
that is a lot of pressure.
And it's just really interesting how people deal with that. And like, it'd be interesting to see like, I guess when you're in that type of work, like how you deal with that pressure. But for us, I think, the breath work I really want to work on, and self-affirmation.
Yeah, I remember having a workshop done when I was on BC, and I think this lady was coming to talk to us about public speaking or whatever, and talking about like pressure and being nervous about it. And she said, just like go to the bathroom, look yourself in the mirror, and just like say, I am confident over and over again in like a really strong voice, and like move your arms and stuff. It did kind of work a little bit. Even though it's like, when you think about it, like just stood in the mirror doing that is like, makes me want to die a little bit inside, but it does work.
Yeah, because I guess like you're looking at you and you're manifesting, I guess, in a way, like telling yourself this will happen. I did it at the Olympics. So
in the mirror stuff.
Yeah.
What do you say?
I was like, I am going to get on this team sprint. So my biggest anxiety was not getting on the team sprint.
What do you mean?
So like
not making
dropped.
the team?
No.
Like, getting on the wheel.
So for me, I'm in P3. So the first rider goes fast they can, second rider gets on. And for me, I have to get on that wheel.
Is that the hardest part of your...
Yeah. If I'm riding 750 meters by myself, I would just go backwards. And like you'll see so many videos of P3s like
just not making
far
it
away, and like it's savage. So I stood in the mirror, I was like, I will get on this team sprint, like I am getting on. And it's just like little things like that give you...
Did it work?
Did it work? Yeah, I got on. Didn't get dropped.
Yeah.
Didn't get dropped. But yeah, it's just funny how like different things help you deal with pressure in those environments. But it is weird, like looking at yourself and you're like speaking to yourself. But
it works.
It is work. So maybe you should try it if you're feeling a bit pressure.
It'll be interesting to know if anybody listening has any other ways that they deal with pressure. I'd love to know some other ways
in different walks of life as well. Like I'd love to know like how people deal with it, because I've only got this perspective of an athlete, and obviously you have a bit more of perspective from different places. But I'd love to know. Let us know, guys. Well, anyway, thank you. I really enjoyed that, actually.
It's such a good episode. It's nice to kind of talk about that.
It's important as well.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
See you in the next one.
Au revoir.